You know, there's something about old cars, they have a soul, a new car. It's a fantastic appliance. It gets you from point A to point B, heated seats, 1,000 airbags, and a navigation system that sounds vaguely disappointed in your life choices. But a classic BMW? That's a different animal. It's from a time when driver engagement wasn't a marketing term, it was the only option. Designed by engineers with slide rules and a passion for the road, not by committees worried about cup holder ergonomics. They have that unmistakable kidney grill, a look that says I'm here to drive, not to blend in with the scenery. It's a promise of pure, unadulterated fun. The dream for any car guy is to find one of these forgotten heroes. A car that's been sitting in a barn, covered in dust, just waiting. It's the automotive equivalent of a treasure hunt. You're not just buying a piece of metal, a story, a project, skinned knuckles, triumphant first drives. The search for the right car is a safari. You're wading through a jungle of online listings, each one a potential trap. Pictures taken in the dark descriptions that conveniently omit the word rust prices that suggest the seller thinks they have the Mona Lisa on 4 wheels. You learn to read between the lines. Patina usually means the paint is gone. Needs a little TLC, which usually means it needs a team of engineers and a miracle ran when parked, which could mean it was parked yesterday or in 1987 when the Berlin Wall was still a thing. It's a world of optimism meeting harsh, rusty reality. I spent weeks scrolling, calling, and politely declining offers of cars that looked like they'd been stored at the bottom of a lake. I was looking for a late model 2002, preferably a 72 to 76 with the round taillights. The later square taillight models are fine cars, but the roundies have a special place in the hearts of enthusiasts. I finally got a lead on one about 100 miles out of town. The ad was simple: 1973 BMW 2002, needs work, been in the family for years. The photos were clear enough to show it was all there, but dusty enough to suggest it hadn't moved since the disco era. So, we hitched up the trailer and made the trip. You always go with a mix of excitement and dread. We pulled up to this old farmhouse and there it was, tucked away under a carport next to a lawnmower and a pile of old tires. It was finished in fjord blue, though currently more of a fjord greenish-brown thanks to a thick layer of grime. The chrome was pitted, the tires were flatter than a pancake, and a family of spiders had clearly taken up residence in the driver's side mirror. It was perfect. The owner was an older gentleman who inherited it from his brother, college runs, road trips. He loved the wheels off it before life got in the way. You could tell it held memories. You're not just buying a VIN and a title, you're becoming the next custodian of someone's history. We walked around it, poked at the fenders and peeked underneath. Some rust, 70s car, but the shock towers were solid and the frame rails looked straight. Not a diamond in the rough, a diamond covered in a whole lot of roughage. Getting the car back to the garage is like bringing home a stray dog. It looks a little sad, it smells a bit funny, and you're not entirely sure what you've gotten yourself into. The first order of business is always the same: a thorough, brutally honest assessment. This is where the romance ends and the reality begins. You put it up on the lift, get out the bright lights and the little inspection mirror, and start making a list, and another list, and then a third list. It's a humbling experience. The good news, the core structure was surprisingly sound. The floors had a few pinholes but weren't completely rotten. The bad news? Everything rubber turned into black chalk. Hoses, bushings, seals, all of it was toast. The wiring looked like multicolored spaghetti chewed by a determined rat. Brakes seized, fuel tanks smelled like a chemical waste dump, and the exhaust held on by a thread and a prayer. You pop the hood on a new M3 and it's covered in plastic. An old 2002 is wonderfully simple, you can see everything. Here's the carburetor, there's the distributor, you can see the ground through the engine bay. Now for the fun part, demolition, or disassembly. This is the stage where you take everything apart. It's immensely satisfying. Every bolt you remove, every panel you unhook, brings you closer to the car's true self. It's automotive archaeology. Old receipts, a Rogue French fry from 1982, and $5 and change. We started with the interior. Seats out, petrified carpets gone. The goal, bare metal shell. Everything comes off. Doors, hood, trunk lid, fenders, glass, trim, each piece labeled, bagged, tagged. This is critical. If you don't stay organized, reassembly becomes a nightmare jigsaw. You think you'll remember where everything goes. You won't, trust me. A decades-old fender bender revealed by body filler, original color confirmed, fjord blue, repainted in the late 80s. Old cars were assembled by people, quirks give them character. A mismatched bolt here, a handwritten mark there. After days, a hollowed-out shell, vulnerable, honest, and a blank canvas. No more secrets. Every step from here is forward. Deconstruction complete, reconstruction begins. With the car as a bare shell, it was time to address the heart. The M10 engine. This little four-cylinder is a legend. BMW made variations for over 25 years, from the 2002 to Formula 2. Ours had sat a long time. Out it came for a full teardown. Carbon buildup, worn valve guides, gaskets turned to dust. Expected. Cylinders looked good, no major scoring. We could rebuild to stock. But where's the fun in that? We opted for twin side draft Weber carburetors. Nothing sounds quite like Weber's at full song. Slight overbore, new pistons, a balanced crank. The works. A modern radiator to keep it cool. We swapped the clunky 4-speed for a 5-speed from a later 320i. Overdrive calms the freeway, from buzzy to relaxed. The engine returned, pristine black polished details, a work of art. We bolted on the Webers, a performance header and modern electronic ignition. The perfect blend of old and new. The classic M10 is the soul. Modern breathing and electronics add power and reliability. The heart transplant was complete, correct in look, modern in punch. With the mechanicals sorted, our attention turned to the shell. Media blasting strips, paint, filler, rust, leaving clean bare metal. The moment of truth. Any and all sins laid bare. More rust than hoped in rockers and spare, well, but nothing catastrophic. You don't band-aid rust. Cut it out, weld fresh steel, slow, meticulous cutting, fitting, welding, grinding until invisible. Preserving original metal is integrity. It separates restoration from a flip. Prep takes longer than paint. Skim coat, prime, block sand, reprime, laser straight or bust. We stuck with Fjord Blue, sprayed as a modern 2-stage. Depth and gloss of a new car with durability the old enamel could only dream of. Watching color then clear is magical. A gray shell becomes a vibrant jewel. When it rolled out of the booth, it took our breath away. Rolling sculpture. It finally looked like the masterpiece we envisioned. Design redeemed, future-proof shine. Gorgeous shell, pile of refurbished parts. Reassembly starts with the unfun, the wiring harness. Old wiring was a fire hazard. The modern blade fuse setup looks stock but is safe and reliable. Non-negotiable, all new suspension. Bilstein shocks, slightly stiffer springs. Brakes upgraded with larger fronts and a new master, your only safety net. Inside, classic aesthetic with upgraded vinyl and foam. The dashboard, carefully restored. A period-correct radio with secret Bluetooth, best of both worlds. Thin rim wheel, simple gauges, authentic look, modern convenience. Glass went in with new seals, patience and soapy water. Replated chrome clipped into place, sparkle returning. Doors now close with a thunk, not a clang. The final touch. The badge. Transformation complete. Ready for its first drive. It feels natural. Like it came that way from the factory. Puzzle pieces now form a car again. There's no moment like the first drive. After a few cranks, the M10 roared to life. It settled into a throaty, confident idle. The sound of success. We warmed it up, checked for leaks, made final adjustments. First thing you notice, visibility. Pencil-thin pillars, glass everywhere. Light, communicative clutch, mechanical direct shifter. Pulling out, it feels alive. You sense the road through the wheel. Firm but not harsh. It corners with intoxicating eagerness. It just wants to play. A new M3 goes fast with zero drama. In the 2002, you're part of the equation. Constant, joyful corrections. Open it up. The twin Weber's Gulf is a mechanical symphony no modern insulated turbo can replicate. It's not brutally fast, but it feels fast. 60 feels like 100. Upgraded brakes bite, the 5-speed sings, the whole package in harmony. No longer tired, a sharp, responsive, modern classic. The dream had become a reality, and the road ahead, endless. Bringing a car like this back is more than mechanical. It's a connection to the past, a time machine, simplicity, driver focus. BMW's ultimate driving machine was a mission statement, and you can still see the DNA. The kidney grills have grown. We honored that DNA. Polished it, strengthened it, gave it legs for 50 more years. Same charismatic car, better suit, healthier heart. You've touched every nut and bolt, and the world notices. Design, engineering, joy, the connection can be powerful and pure. This Fjord Blue 2002 is no longer a relic, it's a roaring testament, ready for new memories. For a car guy, there's no better ending. Now, what's the next project? Thanks for riding along.